it is glaring hypocrisy when you have Republicans on the other side of the aisle trying to create definitions and say Rashida wants to annihilate people, when Max Miller himself went on TV and said we're turning Gaza into a parking lot and we want to annihilate Palestinians. Nobody condemned him on that side of the aisle. What is true here is that every single one of them has not acknowledged the fact that Palestinians are dying in the tens of thousands, but will continue to say it is us who are not acknowledging humanity. Rashida will stand strong.
Gentlelady's time has expired.
Movement will continue
So
for liberation
it's a wrap.
until every
Gentlelady's
single
time has expired.
And that's the rough thing about when you're in those situations. You have a moment in time to speak. You know, nobody's gonna interrupt you. They'll let you get your thoughts out. But it's a very quick moment. Because everyone is allotted so much time to speak.
And they let you know quick. Time. Facts.
has the right to
Gentleman
live
From Marland, Ilhan Omar is about to get deported back to Somalia, and no, I'm not joking, you see. About a week ago, Ilhan Omar got hosting online workshops in which she was instructing Somalian illegal immigrants inside of America on how to avoid getting deported by ICE. And once again,
You cannot be in Congress doing stuff like that.
That's the issue.
You cannot be in Congress. As being in Congress, you're supposed to be a leader, going against the laws. You're telling people to come over here illegally and trying to tell them how to avoid the system. And this is all part of the issues we having with all of the illegal immigrants coming over right now.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where it's like you can care about your people. But the best thing you were doing to help your people was being in the position to speak for them. And put out the numbers in what their issues are. But the second that you leave from a trusted place of trust and you start making side phone calls and being like, they're gonna be over there. You need to be over there. You have now thrown out all trust that you had.
You basically thrown out everything you had going for you. Like you said, she was the voice of the people talking about what was going on. Now that voice is lost.
Because it destroys your credibility. Because you're not being honest and forthright. All the way across the board.
You're breaking the law, and when you got a green card and you break the law, you give them a reason to deport you.
no, I'm not joking. In fact, I wish I was. But you know what? Take a look at her defense as to why she was doing this.
Elon Musk, I want to see if you want to respond to him. He is actually singling you out on X. He retweeted a post that alleged you were telling Somalians who are illegally in the country how to avoid deportation. You do speak Somali in the clip, and the translation, according to the translation, it shows you telling people that if ICE attempts to question them, they are not obliged to answer those questions. I do not speak Somali, and I'm basing this on the translation.
So she thought she was going to be slick and speaking in another language.
Native tongue. Native tongue.
Shit, I bet, come on, all technology is out now with decode languages.
Chat GPT that.
It's crazy.
Translation that he retweeted here. And this is guidance that we have heard from many immigration advocates. But Musk says that you are, quote, breaking the law literally outright. Do you want to respond to that?
Well, it just shows you how much he lacks an understanding of what the laws of this country are. In the clip, it was an interview that I gave to a reporter. I'm not in that room, actually, that they pan out to. That is an edited video. And in the interview, I was asked, well, what I say to Somalis who are undocumented or who they're documented.
What? She said in the video, she was asked, what would I say? That's different.
It's the same.
It's the same thing. Inevitably,
it's the same.
It's like looking for the little thin gray line.
The gray area. That's almost like when OJ put out the book. If I would have killed my wife. This is how I would do it. Same thing.
Might have lapsed, and it is important for people to exercise their Fifth Amendment right to remain silent unless they feel confident.
So yeah, she doesn't even deny that as a sitting member of Congress, she was advising and instructing illegal immigrants on how to avoid deportation. In fact, it really makes you question just where her loyalty really is, United States of America or Somalia. Well,
that's what I was saying.
It will make you question.
That's what I was saying. She's got it. She's because all it looks to be is all it is.
Yeah.
You have an interest.
Yes.
And your interest is going against our interest.
It's going against America first.
Yeah.
Definitely.
well, you know what? Now that I think about it, you guys should take a look at this clip.
In caawa aan fursad u helay madaxweynaha Soomaaliya
You're starting to look compromised.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
You're
looking compromised.
Yeah.
madaxweyne Xasan Sheikh Maxamuud inaan maanta ku soo dhaweyno Minneapolis.
Mapol, our president Hassan Sheikh. Mohammed, hey, a Congresswoman Omar. Exactly which country are you representing here?
Facts.
Because
We
folks,
don't know.
it sure seems to me like Congresswoman Ilhan. Omar is a little bit more on the Somalia first side of things, but also take a look at this Somalian president Hassan. Mohammed the Don Omar seems to love so much isn't exactly the greatest guy you see. About a decade ago, an international corruption court found him guilty of stealing tens of millions of dollars of relief money being sent from the U.S. to Somalia. He's also been found guilty of...
It's not a good look. I'm glad like Elon Musk is doing what he's doing, because the more and more they digging into this stuff, we just find all this money that was supposed to go here that never made it. It's like even one situation I heard last night that it was covering that $1 million was supposed to be sent out, but on the books only 500,000 got sent out. So they're like, "Where's the other 500,000?" Because it's never left this building. It's not accounted for.
Yeah.
So somebody's been scheming off the top of the books for a while now. Even we heard with the Ukraine president when he came out, he was supposed to be allotted $177 billion. He said, "I only got 77 billion."
Yeah.
So where's the other 100
billion?
billion? It seemed like this has been going on for a long time.
Yeah, and it's no good when you're she's making a case against herself right now.
Yes.
And then the people who you're showing your allegiance to, what they're doing with the money, like
it doesn't look good.
It doesn't look good.
And when people see stuff like that and they hear you're getting deported, it makes them not even care that you're getting deported.
Yeah, because you're making yourself look like an agent.
Yeah.
Funding and arming the radical jihadist terrorist group Al-Shabaab, and he also has a penchant for silencing any Somalian media that doesn't support his regime. So pretty much he's a corrupt terrorist supporting authoritarian. I think that's fair to say. But regardless, Ilhan Omar loves him anyway. He's our great president. But hey, you know what, now that I think about it, it's a little bit weird to consider that Congresswoman Ilhan Omar has a little bit of a soft spot for authoritarian leaders, considering she...
Because the first thing I'm thinking is, all right, we believe you're doing good work here.
Yeah.
And the whole time, it's almost like you're a double agent at this point. Like you're a spy.
It almost seems like you're
like for real, because you're gaining information.
Right.
You're disclosing at the top level.
Yes.
And you're disclosing information.
Yes.
To people who aren't privy to that information.
And then you're rejoicing a fraud president. It almost seems like you're on payroll and you're getting some of the kickbacks too.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
Yeah.
She said this just the other day.
Witnessing a constitutional crisis. We talked about Trump wanting to be a dictator on day one, and here we are. This is what the beginning of dictatorship looks like. When you got...
This is beginning of what the American people wanted America to look like.
Yeah.
They voted.
Yeah.
The Constitution. And you install yourself as the sole power. That is how dictators are made.
So just to make sure I understand, all of this Trump is bad because he's a literal dictator, but the Somalian president who's executing members of the media, funding terrorist groups, and stealing humanitarian money, he's a great guy, him. This all seems just a little bit hypocritical, but okay, folks.
Yeah.
A little hypocritical? There's a lot of things I've seen with our president, but I ain't seen
fraud.
I didn't see him execute anyone for speaking.
Yes.
You know, that's a whole different conversation, and that's what you're speaking about with their president.
Yeah,
he's offing people for speaking against.
The worst.
We still have the freedom of speech.
The worst we seen what Trump do with the press was he just told me not allowed in the Oval Office.
Yeah, you're not allowed in the Oval Office.
That's as bad as it got. Nobody got shot. Nothing.
Yeah.
What do you say we go ahead and move on to the main point of the video, Ilhan? Omar is finally getting deported, but first, before we do, I want to say real quick that if you guys enjoy the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Okay, here's where today's story gets a little bit crazy, you see. In response to Ilhan Omar aiding and abetting illegal immigrants, Republican
Crazy.
Congressman Brandon Gill posted, "We should have never let Ilhan Omar into our country, and America would be a better place if Ilhan Omar were deported back to Somalia. And you know what, guys, do you even
Definitely
disagree
safer.
with him? Why don't you go down to the comments section and let me know?" But okay, then Congressman Brandon Gill's headed on over to CNN to give some further input.
To follow up with this post that you had on X. You said that Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, a U.S. citizen, should be deported to her home country of Somalia. Omar became a naturalized citizen at 17. Why did you do that?
Listen, my colleague Ilhan Omar, she is an American citizen. She is a member of the House of Representatives. I didn't call for her to be deported, but I did say that America would be better off were she deported. I think that there is a serious problem, particularly given after the past 4 years of open borders, of Democrats facilitating the invasion of our country by illegal aliens. My colleague Ilhan Omar was advising illegal alien Somalis on how to evade ICE detection.
It's crazy.
That is as un-American as you can possibly get. It's
crazy.
unbecoming of a congressperson.
What
and I
evidence?
absolutely
Where are
think
you
that
getting
it is
that from
disgusting.
specifically? Where are you getting that from specifically?
We have the audio of her doing that.
But do
It
you
was in
think
an
that
interview.
she's a
She segued real quick, but do you think that where do you? Well, you have the audio of her doing it.
Yeah.
Well, do you think that? No. Don't talk past it.
Yeah.
Don't talk past it.
We got her in 4K.
Straight up.
she is a duly elected member of
She
Congress.
has
Her
a duty
constituents
to uphold
put
the
her in
values
office.
and customs of America,
Yes.
not
You're
to represent foreign illegal aliens
Yes.
who shouldn't be here to begin
Okay.
with.
Fact.
And I
She-
think that
she's-
I think that
She
raises serious
is helping
questions.
people understand what the laws are. But listen,
That raises serious. To whom is she most loyal? Illegal
her
aliens,
cons- well, her
Somalis, or
cons-
American
she's
citizens?
representing
I think
her
that's a very
constituents
legitimate
as
question.
a member of
Somalia?
Congress. Congressman Brandon Gill, I really appreciate your time. I appreciate this
She
conversation.
wanted to get him off the air. She was like, I can't combat this guy. He's not being emotional. He's just being like, yo, your allegiance is to America.
All facts. He just getting all facts, and she can't do nothing with him. It's not going with the propaganda she's trying to spew. So the only thing she could do now is just get him off camera.
It's a wrap, B.
You're making too much sense.
You're making too much sense.
I think it's really
Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Clause 2A.1 of Rule 9, I seek recognition to give notice of my intent to raise a question of the privileges of the House. The form of the resolution is as follows.
Recognized.
Censuring Representative Ilhan Omar of...
Can you imagine? Just think about the deportation right now that's going on. I think it's a great example. But let's just say the representative who was representing people from Mexico right now, whoever they are.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they were on line
Telling people how to get
or telling people the same thing, because it's the same situation?
Yes.
If one of those people representing the Mexican government was online being like, you can avoid ICE by doing this.
This is the steps.
These are the steps that you avoid getting deported for.
Yeah.
They would have their head.
Yes, they would. And
It would be without question.
Yes.
Everybody be like, what are you talking about? So I don't understand how it's one of those things people can't see clearly
yeah.
that this is bad.
Yeah, it's real bad. It's not. It's like it's putting our safety in jeopardy.
Absolutely.
Minnesota. Whereas elected members of Congress take an oath to bear true faith and allegiance to the United States without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. Whereas Representative Ilhan Omar took an oath of allegiance to the United States upon
Did the
becoming
opposite.
a citizen, declaring, I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty, of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen. Whereas on January 27th, 2020...
You see what she just said? She just told you what the oath says.
That she took.
That she took.
And then did the opposite.
All my allegiance to anyone or any other entity other than America.
Them ties is cut off.
They're cut.
Burnt.
But by the way, in 5 hours, don't be here.
Yeah.
Like, it's a mess.
This is what she said online on the interview. Just think what she's been saying behind closed doors.
Yeah, well, all the times you don't have access to what she's saying.
It's crazy when you think about it.
24, Representative Omar gave remarks at an event in Minneapolis in which she made treasonous statements.
Wow.
Whereas Representative Omar said she has spoken to many
Punishable
Somalians who asked her to intercede for the Somali government by pressuring the United States government into certain actions. Whereas Representative Omar assured the Somalians she spoke to, the U.S. government will only do what Somalians in the U.S. tell them to do. They will do what we want and nothing else. They must follow our orders, and that is how we will safeguard the interest of Somalia. Whereas Representative Omar
You're supposed to be worried about the interests of America, the United States, not the interests of Somalia.
She definitely sounds compromised.
Yes.
continued, for as long as I am in U.S. Congress, Somalia will never be in danger. Its waters will not be stolen by Ethiopia or others. Sleep in comfort knowing I am here to protect the interest of Somalia from inside the U.S. system. Whereas
That's what I said at the beginning. I was like, it sounds like she's vested in Somalia.
This looks bad. It looks horrible on her.
It does.
It looks
It
rough.
does. She should have thought this through.
You could never be trusted again of no position in government.
And why would she think that just from her speaking in her native tongue, no one would nobody's gonna look into it?
Because it was a gray area where somebody asked her that, so she thought like, oh, it's not like I'm just giving up information.
It's a hypothetical.
You should have been like, I can't answer that question. Can I get another question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Washington warned in his farewell address of 1796 to guard against the impostures of pretended patriotism, and further declared citizens by birth or choice of a common country, that country has a right to concentrate your affections.
Yes.
The name of American, which belongs to you in your national capacity, must always exalt the just pride of patriotism more than any appellation derived from local discriminations. Whereas these statements by Representative Omar clearly violate the oath she
Facts.
took as an elected member of Congress
Yeah.
to defend and protect the United States Constitution.
Say it again.
Whereas Representative Omar has exhibited the treasonous tendencies George Washington warned about.
Yes.
And her actions must be condemned by all members of Congress who adhere to the oath they took upon assuming office. And whereas by openly admitting her efforts to advance Somalia's interest,
Yes.
using her position as a United States representative, Representative Omar has revealed herself to be a foreign agent
Yes.
acting on behalf of a foreign
Yes.
government.
Yes.
Now, therefore, be it.
That's what I said.
This is like almost,
That's what I said. She's looking at it like an agent.
yeah, it's looking like stuff we've seen in movies when people infiltrate the government.
Yeah, it's
Act like
espionage.
act like they're one of us, but the whole time, you still working for the other
Mission
side.
Impossible.
Yeah, definitely Mission Impossible. Definitely a crazy situation. Before we got out this video, if you didn't like, subscribe, and leave a comment, make sure you do that.
Do that.
Until next video, it's Tremaine Jones,
And it's Lamar Wilson.
and we out.